So the fifth letter is entitled Experience the Sweetness of God's Love. And this was the Christmas message in 1978. I have received the salutations you sent. The drops of love contained in them have cooled and soothed Sai's heart. For a Karana Janma, a person born with a mission, the day on which they take up the physical body should not alone be identified as their birthdays. Such days are birthdays only for the physical body. In fact, there is no birth for that which is divine and sacred. Karana Janmas take up the bodies in order to fulfill a purpose. They proclaim and propagate the highest ideals. Only when we put these principles into practice in our lives, and therefore experience them, can we say we have shown our sense of gratitude for them. All of you undoubtedly are messengers. Each should experience, enjoy, and spread the gospel and glory of God to others in the world. When you do this, you can say, I am the messenger of God. Second, you should install the Master in the altar of your heart. Then you can very well say, I am the Son of God. You become near and dear to the Lord. Third, you should let your love be enveloped in God's love and your heart merge in God's heart. This indeed is the close stage when, on the Atmic plane, you have the conviction, born out of experience, that He and you are one and the same. This stage confirms the truth of the statement, I and my Father are one, when one can experience identity with the Father. The three stages are, therefore, on the physical plane, you are the messenger. On the mental plane, you are the Son. And lastly, on the Atmic plane, you and He are one. The day you understand the significance of these statements and translate them into your own lives and experience them, you will earn the right to celebrate the birthday of Jesus. Celebration of His birthday does not consist merely of decorating a tree, lighting candles, and singing carols. Implicitly obeying Sai's commands and injunctions constitutes the first stage. Then, you should transmit these to others, thereby establishing a link with the very embodiment of love in your heart and at the heart level. This signifies the establishment of a final relationship between you and the Master, who thus becomes the Father. You now secure the right to consider Him to be the Lord, the overseer, the recipient, and your everything. Gradually after this, you will come to a stage where spontaneously you become one with Him. He will become one with you, and all will be His. Now there is only one kingdom. There is only one throne. Only that kind of love is verily God. You should experience the sweetness of that love. Truly, that love is the blood of God, represented by the wine. The body, which God uses selflessly for service, is symbolized by the bread. When the blood and the body are used together, you will understand what Jesus referred to as wine and bread. The intoxicant, wine, which inebriates a person with worldly affairs and causes desires in him, is the blood. The flesh, which craves for material sensory pleasures, is the bread. These two should be mixed together, and then, by contemplating on them as God's blood and God's body, they should be transmuted into organs that are manifestations of divinity. Only then will they become consecrated and pure. Blood should not be taken to mean ordinary blood. It should be thought of as Sai's blood. Only then will it become the offering, a Maha Yoga, the ultimate unity with God, culminating in Sai. You should regard your muscles as masses of Sai's love and utilize them to secure Sai's grace. Then it will become an offering to Sai and bring him joy. This is the inner significance of the external symbolism when people take bread and wine together in churches. Jesus is not the original name, it is Isa. Isa has become Sai. Isa also means Ishvara, or God. The good deeds you have performed in countless previous births have resulted in your getting Sai in this lifetime of yours. Without much difficulty, you should retain and securely hold this possession. Experience it and derive bliss from it. During the past week, the service activities that you have performed in Vrindavan, at the college, and in the hospital truly prove beyond doubt the spirit of oneness that prevails among you. Treating these places as your own homes, you are looking after them. Your love, or blood, which is Sai's divinity, and your steadfastness and dedication, or flesh, which is Sai's food, are indeed par excellence. You have made Sai supremely happy. You are all indeed blessed. O worthy recipients of Sai's love, you need not be troubled. It is, of course, laudable that, motivated by Sai's love, you are fulfilling your duty. Still, there is no cause to be afraid. Sai's protection is on your side and is in your heart. Do not entertain fear of any sort. Be happy. Yours, Baba. So the first question here says, Swami says that on the physical plane, we are all messengers of God, and on the mental plane, we are sons and daughters of God. On the Atmic plane, we are one with God. How do you practice these in our day-to-day life?
First of all, there are a lot of great points in this letter. I mean, I'm not seeing any letter this big. First time I'm seeing this kind of big letter. Right, is there? Is the date? It's
It's the Christmas
Christmas
the
message,
78.
1978.
Mhm.
I think. Yeah. So, in great detail, Swami has explained about the bread and the wine, what the significance, and the first thing I said. Implicitly obeying Sai's commands and injunctions constitutes the first stage. In one place, Swami says, if you just implicitly obey, that's it. I will give the liberation. But here it is, that's the first stage. But again, what it means is that first stage is good enough. Once you do that, then automatically other things will follow, though. Um, Again, going back to the question, if there are any sharing on time, anyone wants to share?
So just very high level for first question. Um, how do you practice these in your day to day life? I think, um, especially in satsang, we've learned a lot. In transactional world, that duality exists. You and me are physically separate in a way. I think that's we need to anchor in it. But in the true nature, um, in atmic level, in a higher level, paramatmic level, we're all one. So that's the day to day. Even though you transact, but even that transaction, everything is divine.
True. One thing, I used to be a little bit more stupid. Crazily, I used to One time I got a car and I feel that Swami is going inside. So I open the door and then close the door. I was really making, I don't know, a little bit mad, we can call it. But then Swami told, that's not needed. What you need is in your heart. Feel that in the heart that I am always present. That's what Swami told me. Because I was going really, nuts. Then suddenly somebody will come and say, "Oh, Swami, somebody sat in Swami's place." All these things. Think sometimes it looks crazy, but I felt that way really. Then Swami came and corrected me. It's not anything physical. You should feel that in your heart. So in a physical existence, we do see it, but again, going back to that same sadhana, it's something you have to practice. So when the person is coming and they say somebody is, scolding you, immediate reaction first comes, hey, who are you? All these things. But then now I go inside. Oh, that person is also God. Let him do whatever he wants. So I slowly started thinking like that. It became so easy for me. Then at that time when I started, when I did so, then I say, hey, warning that Swami inside is warning you. So that kind of practice, what happens is then you're actually making a relationship with him. Then you have the right to talk to God how you want to talk to God, and then similarly God will respond back. The final stage is a stage that God gives. We cannot be saying, "Oh, I got it," because once you got it, that knowledge, it again it doesn't go up. You cannot be ignorant again at all because then you are one with the Lord. Whatever you do is basically the Lord would do. But you cannot, we cannot say that until that experience is there. And when that experience is there, it automatically happens. We don't need to even crave for saying anything. So Ramana Maharshi, all he did is he just went, he did and he just meditated. That's all. People came to know themselves. They realized, oh, this is a great Mahatma who's a Rishi who's sitting here. He didn't go and announce anything. All he did is very beautifully that incident goes. Um, he goes from Madurai, goes to Tiruvannamalai. That's a big journey. That itself is a very beautiful journey. He tells his family is returning, writing in the letter. At that time itself, realization has come. He said, "I am." He's actually is not a subject in that letter. He considers as this. That means this body. Already he has referred it as body. And then when he is going to the Tiruvannamalai, after that he takes a bath, the loin cloth, and then the mother, well, somebody has given some little money because of that he ate a little bit. Then he has a little bit of a money. So people would like to save. He throws that also into the pond. Nothing now. With the loin cloth, he goes back to meditation. That's it. And that kind of thing, it automatically it has come. The Lord entered in him, in every nerve of him, and that becomes. Then at that point, that experience is we cannot even say because I cannot say for because that's an experience that we have to experience and say it. But the first two probably we could try.
Being aware of Swami's presence all the time with us. I think that's the awareness that he is with us all the time. Practically speaking, you are dealing with the world, and that's not always understanding of how we are and our principles. And even you do encounter people that are torment you for no reason, and you are just thinking of Swami all the time. And help me deal with this. Help me. How do I deal with this? So that kind of awareness, I think, is very, very important. And also, I truly believe in that thought, word, and deed. I love that. I all the time. From the time I was very little, that was my favorite thing, and I never liked anybody saying something and doing something else. So that kind of putting that into practice sometimes can be challenging. Uh, like I'm dealing with students, I say, okay, we're going to do something, this and this on Wednesday or Thursday. I have so much pressure in my mind. I have to do that day, as I said, and so that Swami, the awareness Swami, that he's with us all the time, watching us, and that's what helps us deal with situations like that. So, there is when we talk about attachments and all of these, most important things for me is responsibilities and our dharma, and the awareness of Swami with us, that he's here all the time. So I don't really feel that I have to sit down and say 108 Gayatri. I don't do that. I don't have that discipline at all. But thinking about Swami all the time helps us to deal with every day.
Omnipresence. Thank you, and we are at time now. We'll go for bhajans.
Yeah, I just want to add a little bit to that. And I really like the way, I was just contemplating on the question, we are all sons and daughters of God. So if we just contemplate on that, we are born to our parents, parents are born to their parents, parents. I'm sure the first person, came from the God. We all have to accept that. So, right? And then the next thing is messengers of God. So God gave this body just to realize that where we came from, right? And then first igniting that awareness in us and just thinking of that. When you contemplate on that, then you know that God created all of us, right? So we are all messengers of God.
God created in His own form, is what Bible says.
And then the last one is Atmic plane. Whether we believe on that or not, maybe some people may think that what is Atma and is all. We all know that practically, at the end, we are all going to merge with Panchabhutas and created by God. So, in a practical sense. So, that's what I'm thinking, when.
Yes, true. Okay, it's on time, and we will continue the study cycle next week. Thank you.